Hi, friends. Welcome to the Dream With Me podcast. I'm Heather Burge, an entrepreneur for nearly half my life, and I'm so excited to help you break down your bucket list business goals into bite-sized steps. Do you have big dreams for your small business or side hustle, but have no idea how to actually set, let alone achieve your goals? Or are you a goal-setting, high-achieving numbers nerd like me who enjoys the process as much as the end result? Either way, this podcast is for you. Together, we will break down your goals in each bingeable episode with a simple acronym based around the word DREAM. I'll help you D, decide what you really want, R, reverse engineer what it takes to get there, E, embrace your numbers, A, ask for accountability, and M, make some momentum. Are you ready to dream with me today? Break out that notepad and your calculator and let's do this. Hey friends, yay. Okay, so today's episode is all about helping you decide what you want, what you really, really want. A little Spice Girls reference here for your day. But no, really, what do you want? Like, what do you really, really, really want? And I don't just mean want out of your business. I mean, what do you want out of your life? Who do you want to be? What are some things that you wish you had? Big, small? Is it more time? Is it something specific? If you listen to the last episode, you know that for me, that something is a big, giant boat for our family. Doesn't have to be that big, but what is it that you want? What do you want? I'm going to help you focus on the first letter in our DREAM acronym today, and that is the D, which stands for decide. Decide what you want and dive in, my friend. In fact, author Seth Godin, he is so amazing. All of his stuff is so brilliant if you want to look him up. But he says, you don't need more time. You just need to decide. I think a lot of times we kind of procrastinate on what we really want because we can't decide. And again, if you haven't already listened to the Worthy Goals episode, that is episode 2, and you can check that out to help you know if what is on your heart is a worthy goal. But once you do know, I want you to decide and dive all in. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to start with a little story in my business. So you have heard my story. I am a leader in a network marketing company. It's a beauty-related makeup company, and I've been doing it about 5 years. And initially, again, I've kind of mentioned this before, I was not a top seller, not a top leader, but of course I wanted to be. I have always been very driven, very motivated, and I kind of gotten stuck in that achievement trap, early on. But once I, really got in my rhythm of doing my business, I was kind of in a set of habits, and I started to think like, well, what do I want? Like, what do I want to sell more? Do I want to rank? Do I want to grow? And I was looking at some of the gals who were top sellers in our company or were top leaders. And I was like, gosh, I don't think I could ever be like them. I just don't know that I could do what they do or have the results that they have. And then I realized and actually heard, I'm not even sure where I first heard this. It was probably Bob Heilig. He is one of my favorite coaches and mentors within the industry. And I know he didn't come up with this. I know Stephen Covey and a lot of people talk about it. But I heard the have, do, be strategy versus the be, do, have strategy. And I realized, bingo, that's exactly where I was in my business. I was thinking I could never have what those gals in my business, those top sellers, those top leaders had, and I couldn't do what they do. So then, therefore, I could never be where they were. Whereas that story, my friends, was just in my mind because some of those girls now, I'm actually headed out today to a leadership retreat for our company, and I get to see a lot of them and hug them in person, and I can't wait for that. But those girls that inspired me so much early on in my business, I realized that I could do the things that they were doing. I was just scared, right? And so when I kind of focused on shifting my perspective from that, I want what they want. Instead, I looked at what are they doing? And one of those things was a lot of them were partnering with a company called Lange. So Lange is a hair company that is not a multi-level marketing or not a network marketing company, meaning you can't build a team. You're not serving others. You can't sign people up to sell it. In fact, I would have people approach, asking about it. And it wasn't like I could necessarily enroll them in doing that. So it's not a network marketing company, but it is an affiliate company, which some of you guys might be familiar with. And certainly if you were trying to build a business in social selling, or you were building a business on Instagram, you're well aware of an affiliate program. But essentially what it is they just pay you for the times that people click your link or use your code, and they pay you a very, very small amount. So totally different again than our comp plan, but nonetheless very intriguing. And I kind of saw a pattern that a lot of the top sellers and top leaders were partnering with Launch. And I remember thinking like, well, they don't want to work with me. They would have reached out if they thought I was worthy, or if they thought I was good enough. And I just made up this story until one day I wanted to buy some hair serum, and I was like, you know what? This is dumb. Like, if I'm going to buy this and talk about it, I may as well see about becoming a rep or a distributor with them. And I had no idea what it looked like, right? But I made that decision, and I sent them a message, and I applied to be a distributor with them, not having any expectation of what it could look like. But I was choosing to do the actions that these leaders were taking, right? And sure enough, they approved me. I put out a couple of videos, and one of them was actually the very first time using their straightening brush. And that thing is seriously amazing. It was really good. It's called the Livy, you guys. It's so good. But I was using their straightening brush, and I did it live, just off the cuff, didn't think about it, just hit the go live button and recorded it. I sent it to them for promotion. And you guys, that video wound up getting over 2 million views. And I just, my brain, the girl that thought that it couldn't be me, that couldn't do what these other leaders were doing, obviously was proved wrong by just taking the action to do the thing, right? And then guess what? My sales did grow a little bit. However, I actually am no longer a distributor of Launch, because I decided to laser focus in on my network marketing business. I found it to be a little bit confusing to my team, because a lot of them would try to go and take that same model with another network marketing company. And I'm here to tell you that does not work, friends. It is really difficult to try to build two businesses at once in two different companies. And it's hard enough when I had my traditional business and my network marketing business, but at least they complemented each other and kind of fed it. Same thing with this podcast. They serve each other, right? But when you're trying to build two network marketing companies, it can be really challenging. And so just based off of the confusion aspect, and also I decided I don't want to be an online influencer. You guys, I don't. I love my friends that do, and my friends that are amazing social sellers. And again, those girls I was telling you about that, just can sell and put themselves out there in all the ways. I think that's amazing, and I embrace them, but I have decided that is not who I want to be. But I still think it's an important story to share, because I would never have overcome that fear of thinking that could never be me, or I could never be like that, unless I had taken that action to just hit go live and straighten my hair, which I was going to do anyway, right? So that's my little story for you guys. And it also kind of ties into the book that I'm reading right now by an author called James Clear. The book is Atomic Habits. This is not a new book. Many of you guys might have read it. If not, go get it immediately. It is so good, y'all. Or at least just look at a YouTube video or search him up on a podcast. He's so amazing. And he talks about that one of the reasons that we often fail in our goals or achieving our goals is because we're so focused on the outcome, right? So we're like, oh, I want this result. I want to rank in my business. I want to sell this much in my business. And then we kind of think about the process, and then the identity comes last. That's kind of the afterthought. But he says that if you flip that script and you focus on the identity of who you want to be. So I have clarity around, I don't want to be an online influencer. Well, guess what? I know that I don't need to take those actions to partner with other brands or to take the time to create content for companies other than myself, which does take away that mental capacity to serve my team and to serve all of you through this podcast, right? So what is your identity? What is it that you want? Who do you want to be? Who do you admire? And then look at their process. What are they doing? How, if say you do want to be a social selling online influencer extraordinaire, how many times are they posting? How many reels a day are they creating? How many times are they showing up on their stories? Are they posting graphics? Probably not. They're probably showing their face. They're telling their stories. They're connecting with their audience. They're engaging. Those are all things that are involved in their process. And guess what? You can do those same things too. And then when you take those step-by-step action items in the process, the outcomes are the result, you guys. So I want you to flip the script today, and I want you to instead focus on be, do, have versus the have, do, be, and focus on your identity and then the process and then the outcomes. And one of the ways that this is kind of helpful, it's kind of obvious, but when you're thinking about, and somebody's probably popping in your mind in your business right now, maybe if you have a boutique, it might be a boutique owner in another city that just absolutely crushes it, right? Or if you are a podcaster, it might be a podcast host that just absolutely kills it. I want you to think about somebody that comes to mind right now that you really admire in your business and that you would love to have the results that they're having in the business. Again, you'd love to have the outcomes, as James Clear would say. And I want you to break it down by who, what, when, where, and how. Meaning, who are they? Like, what's their story? Because I guarantee you, they're just a normal person, just like you. What did they do? How did they get there? What does their background look like? What, again, if they, are making bank and driving a beautiful car or whatever it is, like, what are they doing to make that money, right? When, how often are they showing up? What does that look like when they do show up? How long have they been doing it? You cannot compare your journey to somebody else's. That's a whole other episode on embrace your numbers. But basically, you cannot compare your journey to someone else's because they've likely had a strong runway of really, honestly, a lot of times it's really hard experiences in their lives. They've had to overcome a lot of things. They've had to, really work through some of the mental capacities that it takes to grow to where they are in their business. And that means you're going to kind of have to do the same thing too. So there's no such thing as an overnight success, my friends. I can promise you that. And then the where is another helpful thing. Like, again, where are they showing up? I guarantee you it's not in all the places. They're not trying to do a podcast and take over the Instagram world and do TikToks and YouTube and grow their Facebook and show up and speak on public stages left and right. Like, you cannot do it all. You just can't, guys. So where are they showing up? And then how? How are they doing this? Like, it's probably not that hard. In fact, I just, a friend shared, my friend Kristen shared a great Gary V tip that basically just said that, especially if you're on social media, focus on documenting versus creating. And I was like, yes. Oh gosh, I can do that. I don't want to create content for other people, but I'm happy to document. I'm an open book. I'm happy to document my life on social media. And again, I'm not focused on a specific outcome. And I know that my identity is not wrapped in being an online influencer, but I can document my day and my life and kind of pick one platform to do it. And for me, that's Instagram. And I post it to I automatically post it to my personal Facebook feed. So who, what, when, where, why? Who do you admire? Name someone and answer those questions about them. And then I want you to, first of all, focus on you. What fires you up? What makes you you? What are the things that bring you joy? For me, that's goal setting. It's numbers, spreadsheets. I would rather do a spreadsheet than watch a show on Bravo any day of the week. But one of my best friends, Kate Twig, she gets it done in her business. She works a full-time job in insurance sales and then is a top leader and top seller, an incredible online influencer in our company, but she loves to check out and watch a good Bravo show. But guess what? I'd rather do a spreadsheet. So that's the stuff that fires me up, and also serving you guys with that. I love to try to figure out what works and share it with others. That's, I think, what's really helped me build my business is really drilling down on what's working for other people, even if it's not something, again, I'm not trying to take over TikTok, but I have some friends that are, and I can share what's working for them to train somebody else how to do it. So what fires you up? That is going to be another first step for you. And then lastly, what do you want? Decide what you want, my friends. I mentioned in my very first episode that when I had my first foray into network marketing, and honestly, when I started my current company, my goals were one and the same, and that was to bring an additional $2,000 to our family bottom line each month. I had a laser focused vision. That number came from the fact that I wasn't able to pay myself and my employees and all the things, even though I was running $1 million business with about a 10% profit. I was focusing my money on debt reduction, on building our inventory, and again, paying my staff. And so I just didn't have the excess to pay myself, which a lot of traditional business owners you'll find yourself in that spot. So I just longed for that extra $2,000. And I, again, broke it down. Go back and listen to that very first episode. But I figured out very quickly exactly what it took to make that $2,000. And I did those action steps to make it happen. So Today, your call to action that I'm going to leave you guys with is you're going to go to a website after you get off this podcast, and you're going to go to the number 7, levelsdeep.com, 7levelsdeep.com. And I want you to write in there what it is that you want and hit next. And yes, you're going to be like, wait, is this thing broken? Just follow the process, friends. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but it will absolutely help you get to the bottom and decide what you want, what you really, really, really want. And then the other thing that I want you to do once you've tackled that first task is I want you to focus on what's the game that you are going to play this month. So you don't have to decide like the big picture crazy thing yet. I want you to decide, what is it that I want to focus on this month? What is it that brings me joy? What is one laser focused thing on my business that I can focus on, and how can I get there? And so, my friends, that's your task for the day. Go do 7 levels deep, find out what you want, because you're never going to really tackle those extrinsic actions in your business, meaning the things that are going to get you there, unless you can tap into the intrinsic reason that you want it. Extrinsic just means outside of you. Intrinsic just means within you. And that is going to help you do that, my friends. So can't wait to talk more about this. And the next episode's all going to be on reverse engineering and how to break it down. But step 1, baby steps. Decide what you want, what you really, really want, and go let me know on Instagram, you guys. It's at Heather K. Burge. Maybe tag me, screenshot your stories if you're listening, or screenshot your screen and share it to your stories. Tag me and let me know and put it out there. What is it? What's the game that you're playing this month? What is it that you want, that you really, really want? And I can't wait to hear it. Thank you so much for listening today. If this episode inspired you in any way, it would mean the world for you to share it with a friend, or even take a screenshot for your stories. Just tag me at Heather K. Burge on Insta, or shoot me a message to let me know what you thought about today's episode. And don't forget to check out heatherkburge.com for more information. Sending y'all big hugs and gratitude for dreaming with me today.